Hi everyone, Andreia Gabriel here. Welcome back to Diffusion by Defined.ai, your espresso shot of AI news that actually matters. Quick news before we dive in. From now on, full episodes are available on Defined.ai's YouTube channel. So if you want to hook up, you know where to find us. Now, let's get into it. In April 2026, Anthropic's annualized revenue surpassed $13 billion, up from $9 billion at the end of last year. The company more than tripled its run rate in roughly 4 months, making it one of the fastest revenue ramp-ups in tech history. To sustain that pace, Anthropic sealed a major compute deal with Broadcom, securing access to Google TPU chips at scale. Over 1,000 enterprise customers are now spending more than $1 million a year on Claude. That number doubled in less than 2 months. And that tells you everything about where we are right now. This isn't about experimenting with AI anymore. For a growing number of enterprises, it's already the backbone of how they operate. And the race to own that infrastructure is very much on. And that momentum in enterprise AI doesn't stop at Anthropic. Sierra just closed $950 million Series E. The AI agent startup co-founded by OpenAI board chair Brad Taylor and former Google executive Clay Baver is now valued at $15.8 billion, up from $10 billion just last fall. Tiger Global and Google's GV led the round, with Benchmark, Sequoia, and Green Oaks also on board. Sierra builds AI agents for large enterprises, and the traction is real. Nearly half the Fortune 50 are already customers. Prudential, Cigna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, 1 in 3 of the world's largest banks. The company is generating $150 million in annual recurring revenue. So if you needed more proof that enterprise AI has gone from buzzword to budget line, here it is. Now, let's zoom out, because this week's most surprising story comes from China. DeepSeek, the lab behind breakout R1 open source model, is seeking its very first round of the outside investment, and it could land at a $45 billion valuation. China's main chip sector fund, the Big Fund, is in talks to lead the round, with Tencent and Alibaba also at the table. Here's what makes this interesting. Founder Liang Wenfeng controls nearly 90% of the company and had never taken outside investment before. The valuation has already jumped from around $20 billion just a few weeks ago, driven by growing confidence in DeepSeek's R1 model. What this really signals is that open source AI has graduated. It's no longer a scrappy alternative to closed models. It's attracting sovereign capital and top-tier strategic investors. That's a different league entirely. And staying on things that are reshaping how this industry operates, the White House is moving closer to formalizing AI oversight in the US. The Trump administration is exploring an executive order that would create a federal working group to review AI models before they go public. The proposal came out of a White House meeting that included representatives from Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. Agencies in the running to lead the process include the NSA and the Office of the National Cyber Director. The government has already signed testing agreements with Google DeepMind, Microsoft, and xAI. Nothing set in stone yet, but the direction of travel is pretty clear. Pre-deployment testing and safety documentation are moving towards becoming a regulatory requirement, not just a nice-to-have. And if you've already built that kind of compliance into how you work, you are ahead of the game. And finally, let's talk about what's happening in the physical world. Meta has acquired Assured Robot Intelligence, a startup building AI models that enable robots to understand, predict, and adapt to human behavior in complex real-world environments. The team, led by co-founders Laurel Pinto and Xiaolong Wang, will join Meta's Superintelligence Labs, working alongside the Meta Robotics studio established last year. Meta is making a serious bet on humanoid robotics, and the scale of ambition is hard to overstate. And honestly, this is where what we do at Defined.ai becomes really relevant. Physical AI systems are only as good as the data behind them, and not just any data. multimodal, ethically sourced data that reflects how humans actually move and interact in the real world. That's exactly what our physical AI data offering is built for. Head to Defined.ai to learn more. And that's a wrap for this week's Diffusion. 5 stories, a lot happening. And remember, from now on, you can catch full episodes of Diffusion right here on Defined.ai's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.